Hey guys, Teresa here. Welcome back to my channel, Lost My Thread. It is week 4 of Me Made May, which for me means that I'm continuing along my journey of trying to create my dream wardrobe. This week I'm going to be identifying gaps in my current wardrobe and thinking about plans going forward. Hopefully you have been following me on this journey and watching each of the videos in my Me Made May series. If you have not, I'll put a link to the playlist up here and down in the description box. It will make a lot more sense if you've watched the previous videos. So this is week 4. In the first week, I was looking at my current wardrobe, trying to understand a little bit more what it was like, came up with my 3 descriptors for my current style, which are soft, colorful, and timeless. I then created a mood board to try and understand where I would like my style to go and came up with a fun, silly name for that, which is Early Autumn, Late 70s Art College Crush. In the third week, last week, I actually went through my current wardrobe to see what actually fits with that ideal style, that dream style, what doesn't, thinking about things that I maybe want to get rid of or refashion. And this week I'm thinking all about the future, what I want to incorporate into my wardrobe to get a little bit closer to that vision. Today I am wearing something else from my wardrobe that I do feel like fits that dream style that I was talking about. This is the Maya Sotis dress by Deer & Doe, made in Indian block print fabric. I love the fit of this, I love the shape of it, the silhouette, the gathering feminine details, the floatiness. It is very much in that vision, and what I want to talk about today really is how I want to incorporate more of those elements into my wardrobe, but I'm talking much more long term. I'm not necessarily talking about plans over the next few months or even the next year necessarily. It's more thinking about things that I want to remember and keep in mind when I'm shopping for patterns, when I'm shopping for fabric, when I'm looking for accessories. So I'm going to go through in that order. I'm going to talk about garments that I feel like I could use in my wardrobe, not necessarily specific patterns, so I will put up a few examples. I'm then going to be looking at fabrics that I want to just keep my eye out for, things that I feel like would work well in my wardrobe, and then finally looking at what accessories I feel like I could use that would really help me get closer to that dream style. If you have suggestions of specific fabrics or patterns, please do leave them down below or feel free to send me a DM over on Instagram. I get the best suggestions from you guys and often find out about patterns or fabrics that I did not know existed, so really would appreciate if you think there's anything that I should know about that I might not know about. But as far as starting with tops, I think the first thing I need really is like a nice drapey top pattern, and I'm thinking about having like an just slightly oversized drapey viscose top, likely to be floral print from the things that I was seeing on my mood board, things that were drawing me in. And I have some patterns that I feel like would work for this. I also have my eye on some other patterns I feel like I might want to try. I feel like that's a fairly straightforward thing to get. I just need to really probably figure out exactly which pattern I want to go for. The other type of top that I could really use is more of like a structured blouse. So I'm thinking more like a crisp cotton or linen. And I did mention this when I was identifying gaps for my winter wardrobe, but I feel like I could really do with some nice wintry blouses, long sleeve blouses. Again, this is long term, not for the current upcoming seasons, but I feel like I would like some blouses that have some more feminine touches. So gathers, poofs, frills, flounces. There are some suggestions that you guys gave me that I think are really, really on the money, and I think I just need to just spread my net a little bit wider. I will say anything with multiple bust cup sizes is always going to be a bonus for me. I am aware that I could take a top or a shirt pattern that I know works for me and just tweak a little bit as well. So I've got all that in the back of my mind. I don't want to buy a ton of new patterns necessarily, but I want to play around with some different styles as far as blouses, particularly things to wear under vests, but even just on their own. I feel like that could be really useful for me. As far as sweaters, sweatshirts, I feel like the main thing is I want to remember the element of those feminine details. So one of my favorite sweaters that I've made is the Valdivia sweater by Lisa Threads. It's got a really nice bishop sleeve, and I essentially copied that when I made the bishop sleeve version of the Harper cardigan by Sinclair Patterns. So I feel like I want to remember those elements. Definitely those 2 sweaters I could make again, but I just need to think about other maybe layers of like lighter and heavier weight things I can wear throughout different seasons, keeping in those feminine elements. Moving down to the bottom, there are a couple of skirts that I feel like would be really useful to have more of. One is a button front skirt. Now I am pretty much know that I'm just going to be making the estuary skirt by Sew Liberated. It's a pattern I have, it's a pattern that I like, and so I know that it works for me. But I was definitely pinning loads of button front skirts, so I clearly could use more of those. It's something that I really would like to wear, and I think that would be really useful mainly in solid colors, and I think linen is probably the way that I would go, but I would be happy to mix it up if I found the right fabrics. What I like about this skirt is is a flat front waistband with gathers underneath, and there's an elastic back. So the fact that it has a flat front with gathers means that the gathers on the back at the elastic don't look out of place, but it also means then it's just a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more flexible throughout the day. So definitely I think that is a skirt that I will be getting more in my wardrobe, and I am confident that I will wear a ton, especially in the spring and summer. The other type of skirt that I know that I would wear if I had it, and I just literally have none of, is a long viscose skirt. So either midi or maxi length viscose floaty skirt with some either gathered tiers or a flounce. I want some fullness at the bottom of the skirt. What is great about a viscose skirt is that you can wear it in the summer with some sandals, or you can wear it in the winter with tights and boots. They're really versatile. I used to have these in my wardrobe and I used to wear them, and I just kind of forgot about them, I think, to be honest, but I was pinning them on my Pinterest board. I clearly like the look of it, and it is definitely something that I want to remember when I'm looking for fabrics. It's something that I could easily just make up my own pattern for if I wanted to do like an elastic waist skirt, but I even also have patterns for more of a fitted waistband. So I think there's quite a few ways I could go about that. I think finding the pattern is not going to be the challenge so much as honestly just remembering that this is something that I want to make, and then thinking about that when I'm out buying fabrics. Something else that I would really like to make are some linen pants, linen trousers. I do have two, one and a half. I've got the Pomona pants and Pomona shorts by Anna Allen. So the same pattern, one is in a viscose linen blend, the other is in a cotton linen blend. I do really like both of those, but I feel like I don't have any straight up linen trousers, but also I could just use more linen blended trousers in my life. Variety of silhouettes. It might be fun to try with more of like a wider leg, but also something a bit more tapered and fitted. I have some patterns in mind for this, but I do feel like that's something that I'm quite flexible with if you have any particular suggestions. The other thing that I would really like to have is a more kind of a semi-drapey tailored type trouser. I have mixed feelings about pleats at the front of trousers. I feel like they generally haven't worked very well for me and often add bulk in the areas that I don't particularly want to add bulk. But I'm open to the concept and I'm willing to try. But besides that, even if I had a flat front, I just don't feel like I have a very good fitted trouser that I think would work well for like a drapier kind of trouser fabric. So I will say that's something that I did pin that I feel like I think would work well with the rest of the things that I'm looking to incorporate into my wardrobe. The final type of garment I'll mention are jumpsuits. I do have some jumpsuits, but I feel like I really could use some more. I enjoy wearing a jumpsuit, and I feel like I don't have all the styles of jumpsuit that I would like to have in my life. So I mentioned this again when I was talking about things missing from my winter wardrobe. I don't have any wintry jumpsuits, so I definitely do want to make a boiler suit style jumpsuit, and I'm almost definitely going to make the Blanca flight suit by Closet Core Patterns. For one, I know that a lot of people have made it, and once they get the fit right, they're really happy with it. I like the styling of it. I feel like it's really cool and also just really unique and pretty and feminine at the same time. But I also know that Closet Core Patterns trousers generally fit me really well with minimal adjustments, and I know what adjustments I need to make to get them to fit well. So I feel like if you can get the trouser part right, I can make the top part fit right, making some muslins and get it how I want it. So I feel like that's pretty much a no-brainer. I'm thinking that would be in like a cotton twill or possibly even a velvet corduroy. I feel like that one is definitely one that I'm going to be making and I think I will love. The other type of jumpsuit that I need to just look out a little bit more for, or possibly even just mash up patterns myself to create, is more of a feminine style jumpsuit. Most of the jumpsuits I have are like a drop sleeve or a sleeveless, but I want to bring in some of those feminine elements. So like puffy sleeves, ruffles and frills, gathers. I feel like I can incorporate that into a jumpsuit. It would be really beautiful and elegant, really elevated, and I feel like it would really just fit exactly what I'm looking for in my wardrobe and be so much fun to wear. Moving on then to fabrics. So these are types of fabrics that I want to just keep in mind if I'm going fabric shopping, if a fabric shop is having a sale, if I'm going to like a sewing event. I want to just have this on like a backlist so that way I can remind myself some things that I want to just look out for. I don't want to go on a big spending spree and buy tons of fabrics. I want to wait for the perfect ones to appear in front of me. The first type of fabric that I would like to get more of and I would like to get garments sewn up in is velvet. So I have been mentioning this here and there. I did see so many incredible velvet garments that I feel like I want on my body. I really like the idea of a loose drapey velvet shirt, slightly oversized shirt, velvet trouser, velvet oversized long line shirt slash jacket. So what I will say is I'm pretty open as far as types of velvet, but I would say I'm going to lean more towards like a viscose, drapey, or silk velvet, or even like a cotton, more structured velvet slash velveteen for more of a jumpsuit. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled. I would love to hear any suggestions of where you like to get your velvet, but I'm generally preferring not to go for the polyester velvet. And I feel like that does definitely make it a bit more limited and a bit more expensive. So I will just gradually introduce that into my wardrobe. I also want to keep my eyes peeled for the perfect floral viscoses. So I know that I like a floral and I'm just gonna dive on in and just enjoy soaking up all the floral. I have at points felt like maybe I have too much floral, maybe I need to try something else, but actually I was pinning so many floral viscose tops and skirts that I feel like actually I clearly really like that. I think the key is going to be looking for things that are the right colors, because floral prints can come in a whole array just like all fabrics obviously, and I feel like those kind of rich autumnal colors are not as common for florals, so that's something I'll just keep my eyes peeled for. I feel like for blouses I'm thinking more of like a viscose challis. For a skirt, I'm thinking of more of a viscose twill, but you know, I'll look for a variety of viscoses, and if something really calls out to me, I can then try and incorporate that into my wardrobe. There were some photos of a pair of trousers that I absolutely loved that I was pinning, that was a very specific color that I feel like I don't see around a lot. I asked you guys to tell me what you thought that color was called, and I had lots of suggestions, which I'm going to be putting up on the screen, but the most common definitely was ochre, and I think that probably will generally be the best word for me to look for, but I kept all of your suggestions, guys, because I feel like it's one of those things where if you look at ochre on one website, it's going to be very different from another website. The same fabric might be called ochre on one site, chartreuse on another one. I feel like it's just worth having different search terms. When you guys suggested ochre as an option, I did a quick little Google search, and Guthrie and Ghani had a fabric that I thought was actually like spot on, looked like exactly the fabric I was looking for, but unfortunately they only had 0.8 meters available, and that was just never going to be enough for what I needed. I feel like it's something that, because colors on screens can vary so much, I need to either buy that in person or get some swatches. If you see the fabric that you think is the perfect color for me, please do let me know. Happy to get any links either in my comments here or DMs over on Instagram. But again, it's a long-term thing. I'm not looking to make them tomorrow, you know, so it's not a massive rush. I do want really bottom weight, and ideally I'd be looking for something that I can wear in the autumn and winter months as well. So not really so much of a linen, but more of a cotton twill. A tencel twill would be really nice to have a little bit of drape there, but I'm going to keep my eyes peeled, keep my options open. Even a corduroy possibly could work, or I can have multiple versions of this kind of color, but I feel like it would work really well for a pair of trousers for me. The other fabric that I think would be really useful for me to pick up is some chocolate brown linen. So I did share a picture of some trousers that I saw in this kind of color, but also a skirt in this color I think would be really useful. I think that kind of color would be really good to just mix and match with so many tops that I have, and I don't really have anything that shade already. I did actually get a suggestion, and I actually spotted as well, that the Fabric Godmother has a new range of viscose linen fabrics, including one that they're calling chocolate brown, which I have to say looks exactly like the color that I'm looking for. I wasn't necessarily looking for a viscose linen, but I will say that I think it looks pretty perfect, and I may end up picking that fabric up if I don't spot something else that seems even better. But I'm definitely looking for a very specific shade, a slightly kind of reddy brown, very rich. And I think that is something that, though I don't have it, I would just wear it so, so much. Moving on then to accessories. These are things that I'm not necessarily wanting to make, but they're things that I'm wanting to buy. I definitely could make some of these accessories, but really the idea of the things that I would like to get, I'd really rather buy them than make them, or not sure I'd be able to make them. So these are purchases that I would plan to make at some point in the future. The first thing that I was thinking as I was looking through my mood board and thinking about what is useful, what is missing from my wardrobe, is a sun hat. I do like a good sun hat, particularly one with a big wide brim. And I had been thinking about going out trying to find one, and I happened to just stumble along one when I was out with my mother and father-in-law for my birthday recently, spotted what looked like the perfect sun hat, and I got it. This is my sun hat. So it has a really beautiful pink and orange bow on there, which matches, it's all woven through the hat as well. And like I said, it's got a nice big wide brim. I feel like it doesn't particularly go with what I'm wearing today, but you get the idea. And I really do love it. I feel like it's really nice shape and fit. It's exactly the size that I was looking for. And it will be practical as well as a nice accessory just to match and coordinate with things that are in my wardrobe. Something else that I feel like I really would find useful would be a brown bag. I'm possibly even thinking a couple of brown bags, possibly a crossbody and then also just a shoulder bag, maybe 2 different sizes. I feel like a mid-brown or dark brown would be really useful, possibly leather, but I'm generally not a huge fan of leather. A faux leather would be good, possibly even cork. So I need to think about exactly what I would like in a bag, but I just feel like brown bags I don't have, and they would just go so well with pretty much everything that I wear. And the final area of my wardrobe that I feel like could really do with an upgrade is my footwear. I used to have a pair of knee-high brown boots, and they were just so useful to have. I now have some ankle boots, both in brown and in black, but really the knee-high, I feel like the look of it, the style of it just really would work with my vision of my dream wardrobe. And I did like the pair that I had before. They were just a pretty high heel, which really put me off wearing them. So I think I need to keep my eyes peeled for more of like a flat knee-high brown boot. Coming into the spring and summer though, I'm also very aware that I could do with some more flats for work. I do generally prefer a flat shoe. I'm on my feet a lot, I'm walking around a lot. I need these things to be comfortable or I'm just not going to wear them. So if you have any flats that you find particularly comfortable that would be suitable for work wear, whether it's like a court shoe or a ballet style shoe, pretty open to options, but the main thing is comfort and things that look cute. I think a brown would be a really good option for me. Similarly, sandals. I do have one pair of brown sandals that I wear, but for work I meant to have closed toe shoes. So like a closed toe sandal would be really good. Again, I think brown would be really useful, but I'd be open to other colors. It's fun to have a bit of mix and match options as well. Footwear is the one area of my wardrobe that I feel like I really struggle with because I struggle to find shoes that are comfortable for me. I don't want to have shoes that I have to wear in that will be eventually comfortable. I want to put them on and be able to wear them and go for a nice long walk. If you have a brand of shoe or a specific shoe that you feel like are really comfortable from the get-go, please tell me in the comments down below. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm not going to be taking this list and going on a huge spending spree, buying tons of patterns and fabrics and accessories. It's more about creating a list for myself that I can just keep in my back pocket so that way if I am out and I see sales, if I am out and I see things and I'm thinking, is this something that I want to buy? Is this something that I might be more likely to wear? I can refer back to this list. And it can keep me a little bit more focused on thinking about where I would like my wardrobe to go, to think actually if I did buy that and sew that up, I think I would actually really want to wear that and I think I would feel great wearing it. So it's more of like a guide, not necessarily a strict rules that I'm going to be following. But I will say I have really enjoyed this whole process, getting up to this idea of thinking forward for my wardrobe. I hope it's been fun to follow me on this journey. If you have been joining me, if you have been thinking similar thoughts about your own wardrobe, I would really love to hear with what you have found, lessons that you've learned, things that you feel like you want to incorporate into your wardrobe going forward as well. Now, I know that there are many different approaches to assessing your wardrobe, for planning your wardrobe. I picked out a few resources that I felt like would be really useful to help me get to where I wanted to go. And I do think it's been really useful for me in the month of May and definitely has improved my relationship with my Me Made clothes for Me Made May, which really was the aim. But I feel like there's more to the story. Next week, I want to talk a bit more about what this whole process has been like, the pros and cons of these types of systems, and maybe other approaches that you might want to take if you want to assess your own wardrobe. I have worked hard to make this series interesting and hopefully relatable for you guys. If you dig anything from it, if you enjoy these videos and you want to give me a coffee as a thank you, the link is in the description box. I really would appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video as well, even just giving me a like is really helpful, helps YouTube to know that you're enjoying my videos, but also helps other people to find them as well. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel if you want to see my upcoming videos. Thank you everyone who has commented, who has taken part in this process. It's made it so much more fun for me and being able to relate to you guys as you're going through the journey as well. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye!